talk us through that. What is Ultimate Boxer? What was the format?
3 fights in a night, if you successfully winning your fights, and the 3-minute rounds. And it was like fast action, fast pace. It was at the O2 London.
So lose you out, yeah?
If you lose you out, yeah. So it's my first time fighting away, obviously from Birmingham, in London. So it was different for me. Like obviously I put a coach and family and friends come on the coach. So it was a lot different, but it was good. I mean, the London fans showed me love. The atmosphere was good at the O2 and O2 Indigo, and it was a good competition. Like my first fight, I came out, I knocked the guy down twice. I probably could have finished him, but because I heard there wasn't paying any knockout bonus, no point risking it. So I just boxed my way to an easy victory.
So welcome to another podcast with Punchline. We have a change of facilities here today. We upgraded to Knightsbridge Solicitors in Birmingham. Big shout out to Knightsbridge for giving us their office space and making this happen. We've got a really special guest today, a local talent on the way up to the top. You can argue he's already at the top because of his height, but we'll talk about it later on. And without further ado, I'll introduce Shakan Pitters, who's a pro boxer from Birmingham.
Respect, man. Thanks for having me.
So tell us, how did your journey in boxing start?
Well, I've started going to the gym with my dad from the age of 6 years old. My dad was a professional boxer himself, Colin Pitters. And my brothers, everyone in my family more or less boxed as well. So I grew up with him taking myself, me, my brothers and everyone to the gym. I didn't have a choice because obviously I wasn't going to stay at home by myself. My mum was always working, doing other things. So I had no choice but to come with them. He got me involved with like the sparring side of things, never ever made me actually be able to become a boxer. So like it was a thing where I was just training, doing the training, but it was installed from us from a young age. I was playing football at the time from a young age into my teen years for West Bromwich Albion. So I was there for a good amount of years. So that's where most of my time was. Boxing was more a fitness thing for me, for myself. But at the age of 22, then started obviously, made my own decisions, turned amateur and just took the ball by the horn from there.
So when you say family, how big is your family?
I've got 3 older brothers. One of my brothers lived in America, Sean, he was boxing down there. My other brother, Andre, and my other brother who's more prominent into the boxing was Amwa. And it's funny, none of them are obviously doing the boxing and we all had the talent. It's just myself who'd done it. I've got 2 younger sisters as well. But I always say, the thing is, I was out of everyone, the one who just, took it on myself to carry it on. I think if any of my brothers had the goals and ambition, which I have now, then it would be any of us sitting there, in my position right now, because we all honestly was talented, especially my brother Amar. He's a southpaw, he's very talented, got to the ABA senior finals on many occasions and, represented England. So
top level athlete.
Yeah, he was really good, yeah.
So tell us about this football. So you mentioned that you used to play football.
Yeah, I was playing football. So I started again from the age of like 6, 7. My dad took me to my first Sunday league football team, which was called Romulus Boys.
It's a famous club, isn't it?
Yeah, Romulus is, man.
I've heard of that club.
Romulus is very famous. They've been going for years. So for me, it was I just had loads of energy as a kid. So I think that was a way he found in myself to go and obviously burn energy from a young age, because we weren't playing games then, we was just training or anything.
You're still in touch with Romulus?
Not really. I mean, I'm still in touch with people I used to play with at West Brom. Like they're more on the coaching side now, which is good to see. They're developing, the youth of today who are breaking through to the teams now. But I'm not really in touch with a lot of Romulus. I do have a team which I sponsor myself and follow.
So who are them? Let's give them a shout out.
Yeah, they're called Power FC. They're a good team and they play on the Sundays and that. It's just a team of basically a lot of my boys, a lot of my friends and things. So
like a social thing.
Yeah. But I support them just like they support me in the boxing. They're always there for me. At fights and things, supporting myself. So I was just there to, support them any way I can as well. Whether it means if I have to, provide them with jerseys or whatever it may be, and I'll be there to help them.
When you played football, what position did you play?
I was striker when I first started off.
So it must have been hard to defend against you, especially with the ball in the air.
The thing is, I went this tour, when I was younger. I was actually probably one of the shorter people in my year at the time, because I was basically one of the youngest. Me born July 31st would make me one of the, towards the youngest.
Youngest in the class, yeah.
Yeah, so I was very short. I went that tall. I started growing. I don't know what got put in my food or what it may be, but after in college, I started growing.
So how tall are you?
I'm 6'6".
6'6"?
Yeah.
So you're giant, basically.
Nah, I am, yeah. In today's generation, I'm a giant.
So the boxing, obviously you said you went amateur, yeah. So to talk us through your amateur career.
So my amateur career, I always knew where a gym was. Now, there was a gym on the corner, not too far off Chinatown, which I used to go past and see myself. I think it was K-Star at first. It was on the corner, not too far off the Hurst Street.
That's upstairs, isn't it? Was it upstairs, K-Star?
Yeah, K-Star was upstairs, and I think the boxing gym bit was more of a downstairs thing. So for me, I walked past there, and I found myself at the time just working. I always had more ambition than just to work. Me just doing a 9 to 5 and then coming home wasn't me. It's never been me. I'm always someone who's, if I'm going to do a work or I've got something else, like I was doing always football for so long. So at the age of 21 or so, I fell out of love with football. I had myself doing a sales job, which was for charity. I was one of them annoying door knockers, just knocking on people's doors, trying to say charity, which I was good at. And I know what we were doing because I've seen like the rallies, what they took us to. It was, it was a good cause. It was helping a lot of people, National Deaf Children, Cancer Research, British Red Cross, all these other charities and things like that. And we even done a lot of work as well, even with the Islamic Relief as well. So it was good to obviously do something, with that as well. I've got a lot of friends from, different cultures and so on. But yeah, I was doing that. Then I found myself just getting bored of that way of life, that way of living. I wanted to change, walked to the gym. I was just looking through the glass windows. I remember I was thinking, I'll just come back tomorrow. But good thing I never have, because it was the best decision I made. Another boxer seen me and he was like, "Oh, do you want to come into the gym?" And I was like, "No, I'll come back tomorrow." He's like, "No, come on. We'll let you just talk to the coach. You never know, just talk to him." And I spoke to him. I told him about, my training days. I had obviously nothing on paper to say I was amateur then. I was just another boxer walking in. And he was just like, okay, explained to him that my dad boxed as well. He just told him to come back in tomorrow. So at that point, I knew that I couldn't pull out. I can't not come in, and he'd be like,
commitment's been done.
My commitment's been done. So I came in, man. Honestly, it was the best decision I made. I came in there and I just went right back. I felt like I went right back to where I left off. And that was it. But the only thing with my amateur career, I didn't take it as serious as I should have. I was at that age where a lot of my friends were out, they were going out, they were partying and things like that. So of course my friends are partying and so on. I'm out partying with them as well. And I never took it serious. I remember even on the weaker fights, I'd be out and things like that. But I knew in myself, when I did the fights that I did turn up for, the fights that I did actually train hard for and I kept discipline for, I won easy. I made it so easy on myself. So as a pro, I turned, 27? 27 I turned, so I've been 3 years as a pro now. And what changed me was having my daughter. It was a real big blessing for me to make in the direction towards a pro.
I remember watching you live as an amateur.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you were a bit behind in that bout. And I don't know how you did it. And I think it's part of the bollocking you had from your coach.
Yeah, you always did, yeah.
You just come out of nowhere and you just flaked the guy who was out. You knocked him out. And he got back up from the count before the count, but the referee stopped him. And I was like, whoa, he just turned it around like that. And if he's got the confidence and he knows what he can do that to anybody.
Yeah, man. I believed in my ability. I just know that I just had to have the right mindset, right attitude. It's a bit similar story to, whether someone's good at cricket, football, whatever it may be. You see so much talent out there and people, you be like, oh, why, how is this guy's not playing for, a dominant team or whatever? But it's just I think the mindset and dedication is very important. Even now, obviously my boys and things know when I'm in camp, don't phone me, things like that. They know my own routine and what I should be doing. They know that, okay, now I shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing this. So they're supportful as well. But when you're first starting off with something, there's so many different temptations and bad habits available and there for you. I just think if you do believe in your dream, you got to protect it and have a solid mindset.
Do you find like the more you climb the ladder for success, you have more friends that want to get on board the team?
Yeah, 100%, man. I've never my Instagram inboxes have never gone up so much, and I hear from people I used to go for primary school with and so on. Like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate all support, but you hear from more people, and you're everybody's G when you're winning and everything, you know. So everyone's there and like, yeah, you my guys. You hear from so many different people, but I always remember, like, you know, my solid friends and foundation. You know what I mean? Which is obviously my family and close friends. I don't change anything. I don't forget anyone else. I don't change my attitude. I don't want anyone that's any different around me. You know, I just want everyone being the same. And that's all I'm blessed to have, like, good people around me.
So you said that the penny dropped more when your daughter was born. So tell us what was the difference? What made you change? How did you change?
It's crazy. Like, when you're in that room and you hear your own flesh and blood, you know it's your own flesh and blood crying, and you hold, like, I was the first to hold my daughter. It's crazy. Like, that feeling there, and you're holding and you're thinking, like, I'm responsible for this person's life. I can't describe it. I can't describe it unless you experience it in a way. It's mind blowing. So for me, I went back, and it's just like everything clicked for me. I thought, okay, this is it now. Like, I'm a dad. I can't be out here playing around. My daughter's gonna grow up and, you know, gonna want to know what dad's been doing when I was young, and I don't want her to suffer. Like, at the end of the day, I've come from a generation, and I'm sure yourself, like, you know, our parents never had it easy. You know what I mean? I weren't born with a golden spoon in my mouth. I had to go out there. I was working from a young age and so on. So for me, as her dad, and I'm sure her mom's doing her own thing as well, but as a dad, I just took it upon myself to say, I've got to be the one to ensure that my daughter's not going to grow up and suffer. She ain't going to be in someone else's kitchen, slaving away, working there. And don't get me wrong, she's going to have to work and do things herself, but I'd rather it be, you know, something for me or something she wants to do. You know, whether it's a professional study, a good profession from uni or whatever it may be. I want to be there to support her and
you just want to give a good start, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I think as a parent, I think it is within your right just to ensure that your kids are set up, you know, and that's for me where I took it so serious. Like, I can say I've gave it all.
I'll get this like aura or a feeling of maturity from you. So just on that subject, what advice would you give to another young parent? Let's say someone's had it hard or having it hard and they've got kids. What would be the best thing as a parent you could give your kid right now?
Just no excuses. Like, literally, whatever you set out to do, no excuses. There shouldn't be anyone's excuses, no matter what. Like, whether it's a history thing, a culture thing, there should not be no excuses. There's always a way around everything. So if you can limit any excuse and you focus on the main goal, and, you know, you can look your kid in the face every day and say, you know what, okay, I've made the best out of my 24 hours today for your situation, or I'm doing things right, then you're doing your job good as a parent. Any young person out there, man, it's not a joke. Like, you are in control of your kid's future. So if you can make it a lot easier, go and make it easier. And that's the advice I give to any parent. Like, for me, I know how I am. I am a mental strong person. So for me, I'm not going to let anything deter what I want to plan and what I want to do for my child. So I think, as for any parent, mother, dad, single parents, whatever it may be, just go out there and just do the best for your kid, man, in whatever you got to do, because at the end of the day, they're going to be looking up to you, whether you're the first woman in their life or the first man in their life. They're going to be looking up to you, you know, and they're going to be the closest to you. So, yeah, I think it's very important.
So staying on family, you said that your brothers are all involved in boxing.
Yeah.
So when we see you as world champion, I think we will soon. When I say soon, it could be 2 years, could be 3 years, could be 4, whatever. But I think you're definitely going to get there.
Thank you, man.
But are we going to see all the brothers in the corner with the same tracksuit on?
Yeah, of course, man. Like I said, my brothers have supported me through life in general. They've seen me in my down moments, they've seen me in my high moments. And, you know, just to see the look on their faces now, it obviously brings me joy. But still, like anything, I put, each fight behind me. I put each achievement behind me, whatever it is, and I just want to keep climbing. But my brothers are always there for me. I couldn't ask for any better support, from themselves or anything. I could talk to them anytime about anything. They're always on the end of they're just there for me. So I'm blessed to have older brothers like that.
And as far as your pro journey goes, tell us more about it. How does it start? How does the pro game work? Do you have a manager? Do you have a trainer? Do you have a camp? Do you have set sparring partners? Give us an oversight of what actually goes on behind the scenes.
So for me now, I'm always wanting, in regard to sparring, I'm always wanting better in sparring. So I get a lot of rounds, especially for this camp. I've been getting loads of rounds, and I want to spar, people decent and people who are going to give me a good spar as well. So I spar a lot of like GB kids now. I've even, we get a lot of rounds in with Boatsi as well. He's just a good guy, to learn off as well. He's, Olympic bronze medalist. We both have good spars. We both have good rounds, and, it's good. It's benefiting both of us. In my boxing, I've got a manager. A manager name goes by John Pegg. I've got my coach, Paul Coonahan, and Louis Coonahan, his son as well. And I think a team is very important. I've got a very good team in the sense where they know my ins and outs as well. They know me just as good as probably my brothers will. And they're supportive with a lot of things they do for myself. Promoter-wise, I'm now with Hennessy Sports. That'll soon be announced anyway, so probably when this is aired, it'll be out there. But I'm with Hennessy Sports now, so I'm Channel 5 fighter, so it's good to have that stability, a good promoter there who's done a lot with Carl Froch, Tyson Fury. So for me to now be...
It's like a world-class promoter, basically.
He knows what he's doing.
In a nutshell.
He's been around.
Best of the best,
Yeah, so with him as my promoter and me with a solid team behind me, I believe, the world is the oyster, but I've just got to keep doing my job in the ring, which I'm gonna, and stay focused, which I will as well.
So for the young talents out there, the boys and girls who want to go pro, in the beginning, how is it? How do you work? Because I've heard a lot about ticket sales, and especially in Birmingham, you've got to get a crowd in before you get a chance to go on the stage and compete. So obviously, before you get to that elite level where you get the world-class promoter, what was the journey? How hard is it at the bottom?
I'd urge everyone who's, even in your club, in your boxing club, man, if they can understand the importance of the amateur can bypass all that. If you do really good as an amateur boxer, you could then automatically have a good promoter behind you who's going to set you up with a good deal, in a good place, and put you in, make life a lot easier. If like myself, obviously I did take my time in a way with it where to then realize the seriousness of what I'm doing. I had to obviously work and do the ticket selling thing, but I was lucky to have a good support and good fan base in Birmingham. I know a lot of people, so a lot of people were showing me love. But don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people there as well who do show you love, who are also negative in that crowd, and I'd call them the simpletons in the way they just look and think of the bad situations. Like, what happened if you get knocked out? What happened if you lose? And, they
think it's fear. It comes down to fear. They're scared.
I just think a lot of people put their own fear or scare or their scared factors on you.
Because they don't know courage.
They've not done it themselves, and they look at it like, people look at me and probably think, oh, I'm just a quiet guy, which I'm quiet. I don't go around. I'd never carry myself and make the world know I box. I'm not like that. Someone talks to me, then we'll have a conversation. I never really bring anything of what I do. But I like I said, I'm grateful for support, but I'd never really, I don't like to kind of blow my own trumpet. But with those people, they put their own fear onto you. And I think as well as them putting their own fear onto you, there's some people who secretly want to see you lose. It's just the world we live in. But as long as they're buying tickets, I don't mind, you know what I mean? But right now, a lot of people see my journey. So I've got a lot of positive fan base, people in Birmingham. And obviously I'm out and about in Birmingham every now and again. So it's humbling and good to see, I do get a lot of support from Birmingham. So it's very good to see.
And generally in Birmingham, what's the pro scene like? Would you rate us up there like the Londoners or the Manchester boys? Have we got a bit of work to do?
London really is probably the pinnacle for British boxing right now, because that's where a lot of the big promoters are obviously based. Near that way, you got Eddie and obviously Frank Warren, even Hennessy themselves, they're up that way. So of course they're seeing a lot of the talent down there. Manchester's big for boxing as well. Birmingham is big. Look, you've got the Five brothers who've done a good job.
World class,
yeah. The Five brothers are very good, and they've carried the boxing name, their name, really good. All of them, I know all of them personally. Cal Gamal and Galal. I say Galal twice.
Yeah, it's Galal.
Gamal, yeah, Gamal
and
Galal and Cal. There we go. Yeah, so because we do both use.
I think five brothers is easier to say.
Five brothers is easy, and yeah, man. But
they're nice lads as well.
Nah, they're
really
good
lads.
Yeah, they're good. And obviously, Frankie Gavin done a lot in the amateur scene as well. I mean, I think he could have done a lot more in the pro, but it's what it is. You still can't not
world class fighter.
Yeah, he's a world class fighter.
So we had Don Broadhurst as well.
Don Broadhurst, yeah. So there's good, and obviously now in my gym you got Sam Egerton as well.
Sam's doing really smashing good. It, yeah.
He's smashing it, man. And this again, Sam's a perfect example. He's someone who his mindset mentality was to go on the road to earn some money for himself and his family. And obviously his talent shined out. John Pegg and that, and the coach has done a really good job on Sam. And Sam's true potential is now shining out. The amount of belts he's got and collected is man, it's good. It's a big achievement.
A really good story as well.
Yeah, really good story for someone who just wants to earn a bit of money in it. But he's doing really good, and obviously there's a lot of things what me and Sam talk about, and I look up to him, man, as inspiration. Come think of, wow, this guy's done this, his house is paid that, he's done this. So it's good to see, you know what I mean? And again, he's another good, humbling lad in the gym as well.
Yeah, I find a lot of youngsters in our gym talk about him. They're like, he's a good lad, and he's a local lad, he's from Birmingham, and he's like world champion and this, that, which is great because we need them kind of role models.
No, 100%.
Especially on our boxing scene.
100%. And he's a good story as well, because if you would have put his name in like about 2-3 years back, into Twitter, a lot of people were writing him off. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, Sam's this, Sam's that." But now, for his achievements, he just went into the hometown of Italy, knocked out the Italian champion there, got the IBF belt, and so on. And you know what I mean? He's just constantly always on the rise. Sam, and he's fighting again, in 2 weeks' time. So he's always on the rise.
So wish him the best of luck on that one, man. As well. Yeah. We'll be tuning in to watch that. But obviously for us, if Birmingham lads do well, it's a win-win for us.
Yeah.
Because we love boxing. Whatever level we're at, I'm an amateur coach, you're a professional boxer. For that kid that's in the gym as a beginner, for the girl who's been to a boxing gym the first time, these are role models, the diamonds we need to push our sport forward.
100%.
And like you said, if you're proving the haters wrong, you're doing something right.
That's it. But even people who are not, I'm not saying like everyone is going to be a world champion to come in the gym. They should have that mindset in themselves. They should believe in themselves. But even like, the likes what you do at your gym and in any boxing gym around the countries and world, you're potentially helping and saving someone's life in a way, because I don't know, I probably would have been still working. I've never been into any bad influences, but I probably would have just been still working, and that's that. But boxing in a way has changed my life now. Like I gave up my job last year. I was working at DHL. So early last year, I've gave up my job. Now I'm a full-time professional boxer. So it's now given me that time to plan my days better, see my daughter, have my daughter a lot longer, and just things like that. And after this fight, when I win this one, I want to go on holiday with my daughter, and I could do that. You know what I mean? I've got that actual
flexibility, freedom.
Yeah, I'm free to do that. So there's no worry on my side, man. So
you talk about your previous job, were good managers, good job.
My managers?
No, generally, was it a good job, like a good employer? And are they still involved? Like, do they still offer you sponsorships or come along to your fights? Or is there any kind of connection still there?
I believe DHL could have done a lot more.
So if they're watching this,
well,
they can literally deliver.
They know they could have done a lot more.
But they probably still can. We can still give them a chance.
If they could, they would have done a lot more with me being there. Don't get me wrong, they supported me for one of my fights when I was on that Amir Khan on the card fighting in Birmingham. They supported me that fight. But they could have done a lot more. I mean, in the sense, don't get me wrong, one of my main senior managers was really good. You know what I mean? He used to always, when I had training camps in Dubai, he'd authorize me the time to go. He'd always give me the authorization to go, and when I had fights, for example, I had to be in London the week of the fight, then they'd let me do that as well. So it was always good when it come to that. But I believe in endorsement-wise, they could have done a bit more. And not even just that, but they could have done a bit more in general. Like, even if it would have been putting me in there. And I'm not saying they have to do this, but if they...
It'd be nice.
I know that when Galal was at DHL himself, one of the five brothers, and he was going to the Olympics, they supported him, really good there. But so we used to have a lot of visitors coming from Jaguar, the managers, and they'd look at me and be like, so what are they doing to support you? Because obviously they're our customer in it, and they're they're talking to us and letting me know, like, you know, well, this is what we are for our people. And they're saying this when Galal was here.
Bit of friendly competition.
So they're having them. And I'm like, well, DHL doing what they can do. But I was always just like, get my head down, do my work, and then I'll train around it anyway. I never expect any mad special treatment, but they probably could have done a bit more. But in saying that, I can't be too harsh on them because they did really support me in the sense where the managers did come out to my fights, but they only started coming out after they seen the level probably I was fighting at. You know what I mean? They didn't come to all the fights, but they came to a lot of them, to be fair. So I have to thank them for that. They did come to my fights. Yeah.
Maybe in the future they can shift the approach a little bit and do a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, I do still keep in touch with a few of them now, you know, which is good. It's good to obviously, you know, talk to them now and things, but I do have these kind of people. And for me, like, it's important to keep these kind of people in general, like, because when I get to a stage where I'd want to learn, you know, business ideas myself, I'm sure they'd be able to educate me better in that sense as well. So I would have, you know, I like to keep them there.
Good network,
yeah, it's good networking. But apart from that, I built a good relationship with a lot of them anyway, and you know, I left on good terms. They understand why I had to go and why I left and that, and they, you know, they did give me their full support. They said they'd support me on it. It's just one and two little silly issues at work where you could look and be like, come on.
But that's everywhere.
Yeah, but it was all good.
Okay, so you talked about sponsors and stuff like that. Have you got any sponsors you want to shout out?
Yeah, I've got a few sponsors. I've got Designer Jewels. They're based in Jewelry Quarter. They're a jewelry shop. You know, they've been supporting me from the
What do they do?
They sell jewelry, so like obviously
custom stuff, or
yeah, custom. They can custom make it, or they've got like luxurious watches, bracelets, chains, wedding rings, bands, anything what you.
So
really
if anybody needs some bling,
anyone needs any bling, then go to them. You know what I mean, or contact me. I'll put you through to whoever you need to go through. They're obviously good at the job of what they do. I've also got I've got Beetroots. Beetroots is who sends me my meals. So he constantly sends my meals, and obviously through like times like this in camp. Although this camp I am using a different business, a guy called Prep Food, who I started using. But shout out to both of them anyway, Prep Food and Beetroots, who obviously send me my meals, do my meal plans and send my meals every week. They both got amazing food. So I'd urge everyone if they could check them out. If you any athletes, you know what I mean, even builders, check them out. They're really good at what they do as well. Obviously DHL was one at a time, but they're not there anymore.
But we're giving them a chance to come back.
We're giving them a chance to come back, man.
Put your photo on all the vans.
I see, if they want to run me 6 figures or so. Put my photo on the vans, that'd be good. But yeah, got themselves. Obviously Susie Wong, obviously, who makes my kits, man. Really good kit.
I really like her stuff.
Yeah, she's really good. You
a
know,
lot of the amateurs have that stuff, and they come out with some amazing designs and the quality.
Yeah.
With proper standards. A proper, I would say, a leader in her craft.
Yeah.
A lot of people make custom shorts, but they don't have that wow factor. I think the attention to detail she puts in is really good.
Really good,
obviously,
man.
I'm not getting paid to promote her, but respect her.
She's good, man, because you know what? She's always, you know what it is with her? I only got to tell her the colour scheme and what kind of kit I'll like more or less the colour scheme, send her a picture of my boots, she'll come up with a wicked design. And she already knows, like, obviously my size and everything. So, like, it's so simple to work with herself. She's really good. A shout out Real Boxing Only as well. They're a gym in Dubai. They're probably one of my biggest sponsors. Anytime I'm in camp, it's only because of COVID right now, it's obviously messed things up. But they fly me out over there or to wherever we need to go, me and my team.
So is it a boxing gym or is it like a full all-round fitness facility?
They are a boxing gym, but they've got like fitness facilities. So I think they do have like a lot of keep fitters coming there as well. But it is a boxing gym. They have boxers fighting out of there as well. So when I go there, the facilities are amazing. You know, the facilities are really good, man.
Hospitality is good as well.
We get treated really good. So, and like I said, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have been interested in the sense to go Dubai like that. But we go in Dubai, they've took me, for a good two free camps now. I think it was two camps now. I've been in Dubai. But obviously they're a really good sponsor to myself as well. So shout out Real Boxing Only. They're doing a lot of good things. And I've obviously got a lot of other few like little, I've got like a construction company who was from my old coach's, Paddy Farrell, his business. So like he's now sponsoring me for this fight as well, which is good that he's come through and he's helping me out with this as well. So shout out to Paddy. But like, a lot of people are doing good for me, man. Like, I've got more people I'm obviously in conversation with as well. So we'll see if we can finalize some more deals there. But it's all
is there anybody
well.
in particular you're after?
Me?
Yeah, as in a sponsor.
I want like Nike or Adidas, man.
Nike or Adidas.
More Nike, obviously. I like a lot of Nike products, so I wear a lot of Nike.
Obviously, I'm wearing an Adidas t-shirt.
You wear Adidas, yeah.
Bit of a conflict there.
Oh, listen, I wouldn't say no to any of them, Under Armour, Nike. Anyone who's obviously going to have my, not just financial-wise, but anyone who's going to have my future in, good plan for my future while doing it, you know what I mean? I think as sponsors, a lot of them can have, I know their job's just to more or less, endorse and support your career, but like anyone who's going to support me in a way which, it's going to suit me and my team, and yeah, I'd be open to it. But definitely like a Nike, I'd love a Nike because I always fight in Nike boxing boots and I like the Nike products in it. Like everyone does like Nike, so we'll see.
And if you ever had your own gym, talk us through colour schemes, designs, location.
I'd definitely be in Birmingham because it's where I'm from. So I'd want to develop kids here. I mean, what I do now, just off that topic, I go to a lot of schools and I do a lot of talks in schools. So I do try and use a lot of my time to speak to, kids and things like that who are growing up. So I do my bit where I can, for sure. But if I did have a gym, it'd be in Birmingham, man. Colour schemes, don't know yet. I haven't really thought of it, but I know location-wise, 100% would be in Birmingham if I was to have a gym.
And talk us about your training camp now. What is when you say training camp, what are we talking about? Because a lot of people don't know what training camp is. They just think you go for a 3-4 week disappearing act, you train with a certain person, you work on certain tactics, and that's it. Talk us through what training camp means, the sacrifices, where you go, who you train with, and what it's all about.
Training camp for me is when you knuckle down, your head's down, the level of training intensity goes up. You stay disciplined. So for me, I've obviously now got this British title fight, which is next August 22nd behind closed doors on Channel 5. And I've been disciplined in what I eat, what I drink, and my training has been, high intensity. So that's more or less a training camp where you've got your scheduled days of training. And
to talk us through a typical day, what time do you wake up? What do you do first? How many times do you train?
I normally have like a train in the morning, like 10:30 in the gym, come back, have a rest, back in the gym for about 4 o'clock. After that, either run or normally go swimming. That would be my normal day to day. But because obviously with Corona now, the swimming pool where I'd go in the Ledge Centre's closed off. But yeah, that's what I'd normally do.
So you could do with a private pool sponsor, yeah?
I could do with a private pool. If someone want to
get that
build one in, yeah.
Or build it in your back garden.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, you're talking about food. What weight do you fight at? What do you eat? What do you like to eat? What do you hate eating but you have to eat?
You know what? I now actually look at my food. I don't look at food, apart from if I'm going to go to a dessert shop or something, that's different. But food what I eat now, it's to fuel me. I know that it's fueling me, so I don't really look at food in that same way to like how I used to, you know what I mean? In the sense where I'd eat a McDonald's to enjoy it or anything like that. Like I actually don't eat none of that now. For me, I know if I'm putting that in my body, it's going to add unnecessary weight on and it's going to make me feel rubbish for it. Like now when I eat those kind of foods, my body doesn't really agree with it as much. So I'm used to healthy eating anyway. So I like eating healthy. I love eating healthy in everything I eat.
Just on the back of that, obviously in Birmingham, we've got a big number of fast food joints and it's like a craze that it's just quicker to buy something quick. Yeah. I'm the advocate of, I think we should start closing some of these places down. I'm not against business. I want people to do well in business, but I just think one of the issues is people can't cook and won't cook, and that's an easy option to go there and get a £2 burger, £3 burger, whatever. And it's not good for your health.
True.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think people, regardless, will still probably try and find a way. I think people would rather drive 10 miles to probably get fast food. And even now you've got so many apps. You got Uber Eats, you got, all these food home places where you can sit home and do that. I think it's no excuse, because even if you can't cook, and I need to learn a dish, like you can learn how to do that on YouTube. YouTube's powerful now and it's powerful. So I don't see why people wouldn't be able to.
See, what we're going to do as a club, we're going to actually get a chef to do how to cook dishes.
That's cool. That's
and we're
good.
going to do a meat dish, a veg dish, a gluten-free dish, seafood dish. So basically, talks about your career now. What's the standout point at the moment? What you've achieved? Obviously, you've been on TV in a competition and you won it. So talk us through it.
So obviously, my first bit of highlight moment for me was the Amir Khan fight. You know, I like Amir Khan as a boxer. I think he's he's doing a lot. He's done a lot for British boxing, and he's done a lot for British boxing more than what he'd get credit for. You know, I mean, yeah, he's been in some moments where he's done silly things, of course, but he's done a lot for British boxing. That 17 winning Olympic silver medal, you know, you can't take that away from him. He's been fighting world class. He's probably one of the first, really, out of like our generation to be fighting these top, operators, world class athletes. And yeah, he comes up short, and some of them he's won, but the guy, you know, he's been there, he's done that. So I was fighting on the Amir Khan
on the
show,
card.
Yeah, on the card, knocking him out because Amir Khan was a boxer I've looked up to.
That was televised as well, yeah?
That it was televised, but my fight wasn't televised, and I was doing a 4-rounder. Winning the Ultimate Boxer was also obviously a good achievement for myself.
Talk us through that. What is Ultimate Boxer? What was the format?
Ultimate Boxer was this is the first competition that basically I got down to light heavyweight, which is the 79 kg mark, 175 pounds. So the format was they put in undefeated or boxers. There was a boxer in there, I believe, with like one loss, which was Spellman at the time. So they're putting out like undefeated boxers in a competition, which is 3 fights on the night if you successfully winning your fights, and 3 3-minute rounds. And it was just like fast action, fast pace. It was at the O2 London. So
you lose, you're out, yeah?
If you lose, you're out, yeah. So it's my first time fighting away, obviously from Birmingham, in London. So it was different for me. Like obviously I put a coach and I had family and friends come on the coach. So it was a lot different, but it was good. I mean, you know, the London fans showed me love. The atmosphere was good at the O2 and O2 Indigo, and it was a good competition. Like my first fight, I came out, I knocked the guy down twice, and I probably could have finished him, but because I heard there wasn't paying any knockout bonus, no point risking it. So I just boxed my way to an easy victory. The second one again, fought another guy who probably didn't have as much experience as myself. He came in a bit last minute, and he was someone again I knocked down twice, but he didn't get up. I knocked him down in the second round with a body shot. He didn't get up, so that was a KO victory. And then I fought Spellman, who obviously I fought for the English title as well and won on my last fight, which was a good fight. And obviously I came victorious in that as well. So when I won the Ultimate Boxer, you won like about £16,000 cash, even though they put up 50K, but it was 16,000. It was a good win. You know, it started me off for my career. And like,
good exposure as well.
Yeah, good exposure. It was on Channel 5, Spike 5 at the time, sorry. And then like I fought back with them South on BT Sport, which was like what, last year or year before. I fought on BC Sport. So they're a good platform. They were my first televised platform. I think for myself, that's where I made my name. A lot of people seen me in the Ultimate Boxer and they were just like, oh, you know, you look comfortable and you was winning. And that's the first fight I made that weight, the lightest I've been. That's light even then I was in the amateurs. So it was good to, you know, showcase my skills in front of that audience. So Ultimate Boxer was good, yeah.
And you obviously mentioned English champion.
Yeah.
So when did that happen? And
that happened last year, September. I fought Dex Bowman again. I think he believed that over a 10-round period he'd beat me. And obviously I know what I do in the gym. I know the work I do. And obviously I believe my skills, so I knew that I would prevail through it, to be honest. But Spellman's a good guy, man. We keep in touch. Even now he's fighting. He's in a tough fight against Lyndon Arthur for the Commonwealth belt. One I'll be watching on my birthday as well, so I'll be watching that. But we've been working together, you know, getting in good round sparring and that. So yeah, it's all going well.
And obviously, what's next? You've got upcoming fight, a big fight.
Yeah, very big fight. It's the August the 22nd. So it's a guy called Chad Sugden, and it's in a TV studio behind closed doors. We'll be on Channel 5 for the British title. Obviously, that's the pinnacle of British boxing. That's the best bout to have, you know. And obviously, providing I know I do what I do and do it right, I should make it a very good and easy victory for myself. He's gonna come tough. He's a tough. I'm sure he's a tough opponent, tough guy. He's come from a family of fighters like myself. My dad and my brothers and so on were fighters as well, just like his dad. And he's gonna obviously try and come, but I know what I can bring and I know what I've got and the skill set I've got. So I'm looking forward to the fight.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that as well. We want the W, obviously. We best of luck for that as well. Let's just move away from boxing now. So let's say in 25 years or less, depends how quick you get to the top. What do you do when you retire?
Just look after my family. My main aim, I got in boxing for my daughter, and I'd want to know that, she's grown up, 25 years? Well, she's grown up into, a respectful woman who's now got her things together and, everything's going well in her life. And obviously my mom's sorted and family's all good with me as well. That's my main aim. But I don't, as I say, I don't ever look too far ahead of myself. I think looking too far ahead of yourself, then you could miss what your main focus should be on. Yeah. So for me, I don't look any further than August 22nd. I think day by day, as long as I keep chipping away and looking at things like that, then I'll be, a lot further in what I do looking back that far after that. So yeah, in 25 years though, I just like it, stability and all my faculties there and my family there. Yeah. What, Hall of Fame? You know what it is? I've never been fussed about the fame thing, I've never been fussed.
I think it'd just be nice for you to have your name up in the Hall of Fame.
It would be good, of course. Yeah, 100%. It's a proud moment for myself and my family, but I've never been fussed about things like that. I think my main aim, as long as people around me, put me up in their Hall of Fame and my family's good, that's where my satisfaction is. I swear, honestly, I've never been fussed about the whole glitz and glamour things of anything in life, really. I think because we're all at the end of the day, all ordinary people, all normal people. And what separates people is their drive, mentality and ambition. That's all. That's all it is. We all got the same things. We all do the same things, but it's what it is.
So normally we ask the guest to give us a final one-liner, a famous quote of theirs, or a paragraph of good advice for anybody watching this. So people who are watching this are not necessarily going to be a boxing community. It could be anybody watching this. So one bit of advice that you want to give, or a statement that you want to make, or an experience you want to share to wrap us up.
I just think I've not really obviously prepared any one-liners or had any one-liners, but I just say whatever your goal or ambition is, man, reach for it and just protect it. Don't let anybody get in the way of it, say you can't do anything. We all would have known people who've been doubted and came on top in life with anything, whether it's business or anything that they do. You know what I mean? I just think everyone just needs to focus on themselves. But unfortunately, we don't live in that world. We live in a world where some people like to focus on what others do as well. But I think no matter what your goals and ambition is, then head down and do it. Because I honestly can remember, man, if I was to write a book on my life, it's crazy. Like, I remember people doubting a lot of things, and I've always honestly looked and came back on top, you know what I mean? And people see me as this guy in school, just a nice guy in school, and you can't box. Yeah, you're athletic. And I remember that. And even some people saying, I shouldn't box, but I'm proving them wrong. So I think in life, as long as you're your own fan, you believe in yourself and you're dedicated to what you do, there's no stopping you. You're going to have a lot of failures on the way as well, but them failures are going to make your success for that much better. It's going to make you stronger. So just keep plodding away and get on it.
So I'm just going to wrap up by saying it's been a pleasure to talk to the current English champion, the future British champion, future world champion, future Hall of Famer, and best dad in the world.
Thank you,
the
man.
humble giant.